For more on the sanctions, I spoke to Ahmad Majidyar. He's a fellow at the Middle East Institute, and he said that the U.S. goal is to expand the nuclear agreement to include Iran's missile program as well.
The Trump administration aims to increase economic and diplomatic pressure on Iran in order to force Iranian leaders to come to the negotiating table for a new and more comprehensive deal that will not only address Iran's nuclear program, but will also end in a resolution of the country's ballistic missile program and also regional activities. The initial round of sanctions are narrow in scope and will have limited impact on the Iranian economy. But more crippling sanctions that will target Iranian oil sector and central bank are coming into effect on November 4. And that is what will have tremendous impact on the Iranian economy.
President Rouhani is saying that he's willing to negotiate, but the United States has to go back to honoring the Iran nuclear deal. We've heard President Trump also saying that he will talk to Iran without preconditions. What do you think it'll take to get them both there?
President Trump wants to replicate his North Korea strategy in Iran. But North Korea and Iran are very different countries. The politics inside Iran is more complicated because there are different centers of power, even though President Rouhani himself wants to negotiate with President Trump to reach into an agreement. But the hardliners will put tremendous pressure on him if he seeks to sit down with the American president. So that makes it almost impossible for him at this stage to have a high-level summit with the United States. However, the Rouhani government is working with the European powers as well as other international powers, particularly Russia and China, in order to solve the nuclear deal and, in their own words, isolate the United States.
Well, I want to get your take on the EU's reaction to this. The EU standing together with a, quote, blocking statute that will protect European firms doing business with Iran. What does this say for the EU to come out like this? And it really is the United States standing alone?
The U.S. withdrawal from the nuclear deal and also the reimposition of sanctions definitely widens the divide between U.S. and Europe. Of course, the Europeans from the very first, they opposed the Trump administration withdrawal from the nuclear deal, and they want to save the deal because they believe that that is good for regional stability. And right now, they're doing everything to solve the nuclear deal. They're trying to encourage some of their banks and companies to continue to do business with Iran. But the problem here is that now that the sanctions are coming back, those companies, they make their own decisions. And they have a bigger share in the American market, so they're very reluctant to continue their investment inside the Islamic Republic.
So how do you see this all playing out?
I think that unfortunately we will see more confrontation rather than cooperation between the United States and Iran, not only in the nuclear file, but also in the region, because in the past 3 years, there was a common enemy that the United States and Iran were jointly fighting against, and that was ISIS. Now with that common enemy gone, these two arch rivals are set to have on a collision course in the region as well.